Okay, so last time I did a tier list on regular fruits, and that was fine. But this time I'm going to do a tier list on devil fruits, right? So, just a few disclaimers before I start. We have the tiers here. Naturally OP. Most Logias are going to go here. I'm pretty sure that's clear. There's not... I don't know. I don't think I need to explain why. Undeniably great, pretty good, nice average. Disgustingly horrible, and then the garbage smile. I skipped over understandably bad because I think that's a pretty important category, because some fruits, just because of what they are, will be an understandably bad, even though their usage in the show is not bad at all. And it's, if anything, it should be great or even OP. But just because of what they are, and I'm thinking specifically of Chopper's fruit here, it's not a bad fruit because clearly it enables someone like Chopper to have these amazing powers and stuff, but on a human it would do nothing, right? So certain fruits like that, it's kind of weird how they operate because it depends on like your race almost. It depends on like what species you are. So when we get to those, like I'll go into more detail, but I'm gonna try to be a little quick because there's kind of a lot of these, right? A lot of smiles at the bottom, so we'll get through those kind of quick, but there's still a lot that are not smiles and that I'll spend a little bit more time on. So I'm just gonna get started so we don't waste any more time. Luffy's Gum Fruit. Also, I didn't mention it, but how I'm gonna rank these is definitely not by power or anything. It's not like, oh, which is the strongest fruit. It's gonna be kind of a mix of like potential of the fruit plus usage shown in the show. Yeah, and obviously I'm gonna mix in like power and stuff like that, but power is not gonna be the be all end all to decide which fruit is the best in the show. It's gonna be a mix of all three of those. Like, for example, like Luffy's fruit, at first it was garbage, but Luffy made it his own, and now it's like one of the best fruits. Well, maybe not one of the best fruits, but it's certainly one of the most versatile fruits and more, well, like developed fruits. All partially because, it's the main character, but you get what I'm saying. Some fruits get a lot more like development, right? One that doesn't get much development is Buggy's fruit, and although it's pretty cool, I just don't think it's as cool as the Gum Fruit. I think it has a lot of potential. I think in someone's hands that are better than Buggy, it might be very threatening, but they're not. They're in Buggy's hands, so it is what it is. Alvida's fruit, I think it's understandably bad. The power itself to me is not great, so I don't think I could bring it much higher, but it's also not Alvida's fault. The power she was given isn't great, therefore she can't really do much with it. Smoker's fruit to me is OP, not only because it's a Logia, obviously, like I said, most Logias are going to go up there, but also because it gives you the ability to fly. It's one of the few Logias that gives you the ability to fly. And also, I mean, intangibility. There's loads of factors why Logias are just overpowered, but yeah, I think the Smoke Fruit is definitely OP. This is like the Kilo Fruit. I think it's just bad. It might be disgustingly horrible. There's just the power to just make yourself heavier is not great unless you're acting like a cannonball, where you're just kind of throwing yourself. Like, to me, it's really hard to do a lot with this power. So I'm just gonna leave it in disgustingly horrible. Okay, see, this is an example of a fruit that the potential is so high that even though the usage is trash, it has to be an undeniably great. This is essentially a better version of Bakugo's power from My Hero, right? Anything you secrete can you be used as an explosive. Mr. 5 is just an idiot and he uses his boogers instead of anything else, instead of sweat or anything like that. But anyways, it could be so much better, but yeah, it's gonna stay there because Mr. 5 is a failure.
You disgust me.
Robin's fruit, I think, is probably OP. I don't know if I need to really explain why it's OP. I think it's pretty clear. You would think that she would do more with it, but I don't know if that's like a writing thing, or like I don't know if like Oda just kind of made one of them, like Straw Hats, have an overpowered devil fruit, and then he had to kind of underuse her. I'm not sure if that's like been debunked or anything, but bottom line is her fruit is just broken. It has so much potential, and even the usage that she's shown is pretty impressive. The Wax Fruit, honestly, Honestly, I gotta say, I think the wax fruit is just average. What we've seen from Mr. 3 using the candle fruit or the wax fruit is very impressive. But I don't know if I'd put it over, you know, if we had someone that was as good as Mr. 3 with the wax fruit that was using the like Buggy's fruit and he was as good as Mr. 3 is with his fruit, I think we'd be more impressed with Buggy's fruit, but I digress. I just don't think the wax fruit is that great. The sand fruit, definitely OP. Again, another Logia, intangibility, control over an element. I don't think I need to go into too much detail about why it's so strong. Wapos Fruit, I think it's average. Actually, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good because you can literally just eat anything, and that's a form of destruction, right? Just eating it. And you can also just make something out of what you eat, which I think that's the most important part of this fruit. You can actually use what you ate. I think just for that, it's pretty good. If it was just eating, it wouldn't be here. But just because of that, it's pretty good. The Bison Fruit, I think is average. Like these zones, I'm basically going to grade. As of now, I'm going to be like, is it better than a Bison or is it worse than a Bison? Or is it on the same level as a Bison? That's pretty much how these zone fruits are going to be graded. But yeah, no, definitely the Bison Fruit it's okay. It's certainly not the best animal you can turn into. I'm pretty sure this is Chopper's Fruit, just based on like the chronology of these fruits are in chronological order, so I assume that this is Chopper's Fruit. And Chopper's Fruit has to go in understandably bad. It's not disgustingly horrible, even though I could see why someone would put it there, because if you were a human and you ate this fruit, you would gain nothing except forgetting how to swim. That's all you would gain. You would gain the ability to forget how to swim. But if you were literally anything other than a human, this fruit would be possibly one of the best you could eat. But again, if you're a human, it's bad. If you're not a human, it's good. So I'm just going to put it in understandably bad because obviously this is a human tier list. Bonclay's Clone Fruit, I think it's average. It has its uses, but it's certainly not one of the strongest fruits. I can't even say it's one of the weakest fruits because it just has its very niche uses. But just in general, not that useful. The Flare Fruit, definitely OP. Again, another Logia. In my opinion, probably better than the Smoke and the Sand, but this is not like a ranked, like this is not, I'm not putting each fruit in the tiers as like their rank in the individual tier. I'm just putting them there. But anyways, yeah, the Flame Fruit is definitely fire.
Move this man!
Pels Fruit, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna put it in pretty good because I'd rather be a falcon than a bison or a hawk. I don't know if it's a hawk or a falcon, but just the ability to fly, it'll put you above a bison. But just in general, I think the fruit is just better. Okay, so I see this. This is just horrible. I don't even know if I should put it. Like, I think I could put it in understandably bad because it's not like the type of dog that you get when you eat this fruit. It's not like it's horrible to be turned into a dog. It's just horrible to get this type of dog. So I think it's like, I don't know, maybe I should just put it disgustingly horrible. Because you don't really get many benefits out of eating this. No, you know, I'll just put it disgustingly horrible. You don't really get many benefits from eating this kind of fruit when you turn into this kind of dog. Especially considering when you have like Jabra later, who turns into a fucking wolf. Yeah, between this dog and a wolf, I'd probably pick the wolf. The Mole Fruit, I think, is average. I actually want to put it pretty good because it gives you a lot of versatility. You can start digging. You can dig underground. Claws are gonna hurt. I think it offers a lot more versatility than the Bison Fruit, that's for sure. The Spike Fruit, I think, is average. I almost want to say pretty good because it's a really good defense mechanism. I'll put pretty good because it's a very good defense mechanism and it has a lot of versatility. I think Das Bones, as much as I like Das Bones as a character and his usage, I think it's just pretty good. Turning body parts into blades is obviously super good, but I don't know if I could quite put it as undeniably great because it just lacks versatility from what we've seen and from what I can imagine the fruit can do. Turning into a jackal, I think it's like, I don't know, I feel like I should put the mole down here actually. The advantages that being a mole has no, you know what? I'll just put it back here. I'll put it back here because you lose the disadvantages of being a mole, right? When you're in your hybrid form or whatever. But I don't know. Being a jackal would be cool, but I'm not quite sure it would have the same advantages that being a mole would in its hybrid form, of course. Hina's cage fruit. It's not great. It's not great. It has its very niche uses, and honestly, against people that are weaker than you, it's going to be useful. Anyone that's stronger than you is not going to be affected by this whatsoever, because it's very easy to dodge. Even a pre-time skip Luffy was able to dodge Hina's cage fruit, like at Marineford, when he had a lot of other things to keep in mind though. So I don't know, honestly, not a great fruit in my opinion, but it's like she does what she can with it, but it's just not that good. I think Bellamy's spring fruit is average. It's average. It seems very one-dimensional, at least the way that he uses it. But at the same time, I don't know how else he could use it. So from what I've seen, I would put it in average. The horse fruit, I think turning to a horse would be average. It'd be about the same in terms of benefits as turning into a bison. And it just would not be as good as turning into a bird or a mole that, you know, they could kind of like, bird can fly around, mole can kind of modify the terrain. You can use the terrain to its advantage also. Like, there's just benefits that you get from these two that you just won't get with the others. Enel's Rumble Fruit, for sure, OP. Enel didn't make the best use of the fruit, but he still made okay use of it. And it could have been so much more, and already it was OP. When it could have been so much more, it was already broken, so we can only imagine. I literally have no idea what this is. Yeah, I have no idea what this is. Foxy's slow fruit. I want to put it OP, if I'm being honest. Foxy didn't make the best use of this fruit, but the fruit's potential, forget Foxy. Like, put this fruit in someone that's capable of doing actual damage, and this is completely broken. This is one of the strongest fruits in the entire One Piece, like, universe. Aokiji's fruit, broken, obviously. Logia. And when I say Logias are broken, I'm not even saying that because, like, oh, you have the intangibility. I know there's Haki. I know there's things to circumvent that intangibility. And actually, post-time skip, Logias haven't been that strong, if we're being honest. We haven't had a Logia showcase, like, a crazy power post-time skip, right? So I would understand why people would doubt Logias at this point. But to me, they're still so powerful just because you gain control over an element. And that's something that other fruits just don't give you. And also, the thing with Aokiji's fruit is that he can also kind of circumvent the whole, like, oh, you can't swim, well, he can just freeze the water under him. So you're also you kind of have a solution to the biggest weakness of eating a devil fruit. So yeah, definitely OP. Bruno, this is door fruit, not Bruno. Bruno, I think it's average. I think it's average. Has a lot of potential, but it's also, I don't know, as much potential as it has. Actually, no, I'll put it pretty good. It has a lot of potential, but I don't know how far that potential could go compared to these two up here. I think it has about the same amount of potential as these other ones. Okay, when you're talking about Zoan fruits, Lucci's Zoan fruit is definitely up there because a leopard is an example of an animal that would give you just insane power boost, and it would give you a lot more like attack potential than a lot of these other Zoan fruits that we've seen so far. And Jabra is actually the same. I'll just put Jabra up here right now. Jabra is actually the same. Obviously, Lucci and Jabra as characters were not on the same tier when it came to fighting and stuff like that, right? But to me, their devil fruits hold similar potential. So that's why I'm going to put them on the same tier. The elephant fruit, I think an elephant is basically on the same level as a bison when it comes to transformation. Obviously, you have some advantages with both that you don't get with the other. But just in general, I don't think I would put it above these two. This is the soap fruit, I'm pretty sure. I don't like the soap fruit. I think it's understandably bad because I understand why it's so bad, right? That's why I put it in the understandably bad tier, no shit. But I just don't like what she's done with it, and I like what the CP9 member, I'm forgetting her name, what she did with it. But it's also like, I'm kind of thinking I'm not sure what else she could have done with it. Kaku's giraffe fruit, I think it's understandably bad. I think a giraffe is the type of animal that, like, it's kind of weird to receive the powers of a giraffe, right? And Kaku was pretty, let's say, creative with what he was doing with the fruit. But in the end, I mean, he was just dealt a bad hand. It's unfortunate, really. This dude, I think this dude's power is just a worst version of Buggy's. Oh, yeah, I'll just put him under Buggy. This Rust Fruit, I think is just understandably bad. It's a good power. It's a very specifically good power for a very specific situation. Like, if you're fighting people with swords or guns or whatever, yeah, okay. Well, guns, not even. If you're fighting people with swords, you can rust their swords and just destroy their weapon. It's like, oh shit, instant advantage. Outside of that, you're just kind of there. This dude is like the wheel dude. Like, he can turn his like arms and legs into wheels. It's okay. It's okay. Nothing too great. The Darkness Fruit, for sure OP. I mean, it's one of the, I think, well, as far as we know, it's the only devil fruit that can negate other devil fruits. So already, just because of that, it's OP. And then also you get the fact that I'm pretty sure it's a Logia, or I'm not sure if it's a Paramecia or a Logia, but either way, the power that you get from this fruit, not even taking into account the fact that you can nullify other fruits, is crazy. Lafitte has a devil fruit. I was not aware, but apparently he has devil fruit, and it swings. Okay, sure. Sure, we'll put him nice average. Just having wings is cool, I guess. But like, compared to, you know, having wings and having the attributes of a bird, I mean, I'd rather go with the attributes of a bird. You might as well. It's just an extra power up and wings compared to just wings. Brook's Revival Fruit. Okay, I think Brook's Revival Fruit is actually pretty good. And it's kind of weird to put it there. I would put it higher, and I would put it maybe OP or undeniably great, because it literally allows you to revive yourself. But it's also like, when you eat it, for as long as you live after you eat it, you gain nothing. You only gain, you know, the ability to not know how to swim. So until you die, it's useless. But when you die, you revive, and I think you're immortal. You're not invulnerable, but I'm pretty sure you become immortal, and you gain soul powers. So I think this one's kind of a matter of opinion, but in my opinion, it's pretty good. His Gecko's Shadow Fruit, pretty good in my opinion. He's done some pretty interesting things with it. I think I would almost say it's OP. I mean, not OP, sorry. I would say it's pretty great, honestly, because you can do a lot of things. You can swap with your clone. You can like send your clone around. Like, controlling shadows is a pretty powerful ability when you think about it. Perona's Ghost ability, I would put pretty good. I don't think it's quite as good as Moria's Shadow ability, but it's pretty good. The whole negative thing is very good, but again, if you come across someone like Usopp who just, you know, can hard counter you, then you're just kind of at their mercy, right? But still a very good power. Shiryu's Invisibility, I think Invisibility is just okay. In the One Piece universe, it's okay. Maybe in real life it would be crazy to be able to be invisible, but even then, compared to a lot of these other powers, Invisibility just seems it seems okay. But in reality, I don't think it really stacks up with some of the best. Kuma's Pawpaw Fruit. For sure, I'm going to put it in undeniably great. It has so much potential. It can do so many weird things that, like, you wouldn't expect when you see this fruit to begin with. But yeah, this fruit has a lot of potential, and the usage is very impressive. Bonnie's H Fruit, I would say it's OP. I would say it's completely OP. You can literally turn people into babies in a second, and you can also change your own age, which is even more OP. Kids Magnetic Fruit, I would put it pretty good. I'm not going to put it undeniably great or OP, because it's very heavily reliant on things around you and not yourself. Like, Kid's power, if there's no metal around him, is useless. So I feel like it's good where it is right now. I wouldn't feel too good putting it like much higher than this. The Ope-Ope-no-Mi, for sure, naturally OP. I mean, you can literally create a room and you can do whatever you want within that room. I think that's all I gotta say. It's not that simple, obviously, but that's the gist of it. And yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know. Kizaru's Light Fruit, OP, of course. Another element, Another fruit that gives you intangibility. This one gives you speed as well. Just great. Capone's Castle Fruit, I think, is pretty good. Actually, no. I think it's great. I think it's great. Being able to have a portable army inside of yourself, as well as being able to turn into a giant tank castle, yeah, I think that's pretty great. I think that's pretty undeniably great. Hawkins Straw Fruit, I think it's pretty good. I think the offensive potential for it is lacking a little bit, especially when compared to the other like of the worst generation. The offensive capabilities of it are a little bit lacking, but they way make up for it with the defensive capabilities. Same thing with Urouge, actually. I think his fruit, we haven't seen much of it yet, so maybe this is like I'm not sure exactly like the lengths that this fruit can go to, but or like the full. I don't realize the full potential that this fruit holds, but being able to take damage and then dish it back out, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, and I'm sure we'll see more of Urouge later. And maybe I'll change my stance on it, but for now, it's in pretty good. Drake's Dinosaur Fruit. I'm not sure what type of dinosaur this is. I'm going to put it up here. I'm going to put it in great. I think, for sure, like, being a dinosaur, it stacks up with, like, being a leopard and a wolf. And to me, I just think it deserves to be up here. Apu's Music Fruit, to me, is average. Again, this might be another thing where I haven't seen enough of this fruit, so... like, I'm not exactly sure the full extent of the capabilities of the fruit, but for now, it's just average to me from what I've seen. Boa's Fruit, to me, is just understandably bad. Because if anybody else but Boa had this fruit, it would not be nearly as useful. If people were not attracted to you, this fruit could even be useful. In the hands of some, in the hands of a large majority of people, actually, this fruit would not even reach half of its potential. So, I just think it's not great. The two snake fruits, I'm going to put in pretty good. I think, obviously, being a snake, or like a boa and an anaconda, I think are the two snakes. I think they're pretty good. Not reaching the level of, like, top-tier Zoans, but... well, for now, top-tier Zoans. But, for sure, pretty good. The impel down, like, guards that have, like, awakened Zoans... I don't know. I think they're average. I'm not basing them on the fact that they're awakened, because then I would have to do that for every fruit. But I'm not really taking awakenings into consideration too much, because we still barely know anything about awakenings. But I'm just taking into account, this is a koala, this is a bull, this is a rhino, right? You know what? I'll put the rhino up here because I feel like a rhino has more offensive potential than a bull and a bison and a jackal and like a koala, all that shit, right? But... like, I can't put them too high just because they're awakened. That doesn't make their fruit better, right? Magellan's Poison Fruit. I think Magellan's Poison Fruit is OP, if I'm being honest. We saw what he could do back in Impel Down, what he did to Luffy and stuff, and what he did to a lot of the... and like, he's not the Warden for no reason, right? His fruit is completely broken. And it's not a Logia, it's a Paramecia, but still. And also, there's a common misconception that it's the fruit that causes his stomach aches. But it's not true. It's because he eats poisons. Because he's able to survive the poison because he has the poison fruit, right? So he eats poison, and that's what puts him in the bathroom for hours and hours a day. If he didn't eat the poison, he would just have the power with no drawbacks. So that's his fault. That's not the fruit's fault. This is a zebra. Oh yeah, this is another one of the guards. Yeah, I think a zebra is on the same level as a horse. Ivankov, I think it's just great. I'm not sure it's quite OP, but for sure it's great. It has a lot of healing potential, which a lot of these fruits so far that we've seen doesn't necessarily have that. And also just being able to gender swap people is a weird, but very, like, potentially crazy power when you think about it. Inazuma's scissor power, I think is pretty good. Being able to, not only being able to cut any surface, but being able to basically handle that surface like it was paper after it was cut is crazy, of course. But I'm just not quite sure it reaches the higher levels. Shiki's Float Fruit, another fruit that allows you to fly. And obviously you can make other things float, but I'm not quite sure that's enough to get him to the top. This is interesting. This one is interesting. I want to put it OP. I want to put it OP just because of the potential that this fruit has. Obviously, it's OP. We've seen the potential that the fruit has, right? But on a smaller scale, like the tremor fruit is weird because you think about like large scale destruction, and outside of that, you don't really know what the fruit can do. But I'm pretty sure it could be used on a smaller scale, right? We kind of saw like glimpses of that, like during the Odin flashback and stuff. We saw small glimpses of that, right? But I think just based on pure destructive potential, it deserves to be up here. I don't know what this is. The person, I don't know. I actually don't know what devil fruit this is. I have no idea what devil fruit this is. I guess I guess I'm just gonna skip. I have no idea what fruit this is. This one, I forgot what fruit this is. Is it just like you have 6 arms? You have more arms, I guess. It's just like a way worse version of Robin's fruit. I guess it's average. Which one is this? Is this like a Dalmatian fruit? Like a Dalmatian Zoan fruit? I think it's average. What is this? I have no idea what this is. What am I looking at here? I don't know. Like, this is a lot of Whitebeard's crew, and like some of them I really don't know what they are. I do know what Jozu is, and Jozu's diamond fruit, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good in pretty good. Marco's Phoenix fruit, first Zoan OP fruit, probably because it's a mythical Zoan, and some of them are going to fit in here too, obviously. But it just has so many benefits compared to a lot of other Zoans. The healing capabilities that, again, we talked about with Ivankov. These two are some of the only ones so far that have healing capabilities, and the Phoenix fruit takes it to the next level too. And also another fruit that gives you flight, and it has fire. Like, it just has a lot of things going for it. The Magma Fruit, just a more destructive version of the Fire Fruit. Literally a direct upgrade to the Flare Fruit. So I think if this one is an OP, then this one is an OP. Blemenko, I'm pretty sure his power is just that, like, he can store stuff in, like, pockets, right? I think that's average. I don't think it's anything crazy. Tsuru's, I think it's okay. I think it's average. It's very weird. It's very niche. I'm not sure it has much more potential, but yeah, it's very niche. Sengoku. Okay, so Sengoku's fruit, I think I'll put it in undeniably great because of the destructive potential and the defensive capabilities, but I don't know if I could really put it in OP. To me, I don't feel like it's OP. I'm not even sure we know everything that it can do, but from what we've seen, I think it's great, but not quite OP. What is that San Juan Wolf? What is his power? What is his devil fruit? I'm not even sure what's his devil fruit. Can he turn into a boat or something? I'm not sure what a devil fruit is, to be honest. Caribou. Okay, this is one of the Logias that are not gonna go in OP because I think the power of Swamp is not necessarily OP, but it is great. It is for sure great, and also the storing capabilities that we don't really get other than with Blemenko's fruit are pretty crazy. But honestly, when you're thinking of an element, like swamp, water / mud is definitely not one of the ones you want to end up with. The Mark fruit, I think it's okay. I think it's average. I think the fruit is very restrictive. I just don't think it deserves to be too high. The turtle fruit, I don't know. I think a turtle is another one of those, like, I don't know if you really want to end up with a turtle fruit. Yeah, I think it's just average. It's just average. What is this? What is this? I have no idea what this is. Hold on. What the fuck is this? You turn into a chihuahua? Is that what it is? Is that legit what it is? I'm not even joking. You turn into okay, I'm just gonna assume that's what it is. You turn into like a chihuahua or a small dog or whatever. Yeah, probably horrible. You probably don't want to end up, if you're gonna get a Zoan fruit, you probably don't want to end up with like a chihuahua or whatever dog breed this is. If this is even a dog, I'm just gonna assume it's a dog. Caesar's gas fruit. I think it's probably great. I'm not sure if it reaches OP, but I think I think it's okay and great. It doesn't have quite the destructive capabilities that a lot of these Logias do, and it's like, actually no, I think it is OP. You can literally asphyxiate people. Yeah, no, that's broken. That's horrible. Yeah, you can stay up here. Kinemon's fruit, I think it's just understandably bad. Honestly, the fruit's capabilities, they just are what they are. It's not the fruit's fault. Like, the fruit does what it's supposed to. It is what it is. This is like the axolotl fruit, that thing that Caesar was trying to... This is the fruit that it ate. Maybe disgustingly horrible is the way to go here. For the snow fruit, should I put it OP? I don't know if the snow fruit is really OP. I think the ice fruit is one of those fruits that barely makes it into the OP, and it's just straight up weaker version in the snow fruit doesn't quite make it, in my opinion. Baby 5's like weapon fruit is interesting. I think it's pretty good. Again, destructive capabilities, but outside of that, I'm not sure if it has much more potential than what is displayed. And she's made okay use of it, I suppose, but nothing super impressive or amazing, right? Okay, Momonosuke's dragon fruit. This remains to be seen. I think for now it's understandably bad because he just turns into like a baby dragon or whatever, which obviously is not really useful or strong or anything like that. But potentially down the line, maybe if it turns into a bigger dragon, maybe you know what I mean. Like there's potential there, but for now it's understandably bad. This is just like a smile fruit, just a random smile fruit. I'm not sure what to do with this. I guess I'll put it in garbage smile, sure. Buffalo's, what was it, like rotate fruit or something? I don't know. It gives you flight, so I'll put it in average. But I don't know, other than that, it doesn't strike me as like super good, useful or anything. The mucus fruit is definitely not great, in my opinion. I'll put it pretty good because it has a lot of, like, it has some very interesting properties and usage, but other than that, it's just kind of nasty, and it's not that strong.
Nasty bitch.
Fujitori's gravity fruit, obviously just completely broken. Being able to control gravity is just completely broken, no matter how you look at it. Also, Sugar's, I forgot the name of the fruit in English, but it's like the hobby in Japanese. But yeah, no, it's OP. It's completely OP. It's like the scariest fruit in the entire show. It's OP. I don't think I need to explain why. The barrier fruit, I'm gonna put in undeniably great, if I'm being honest, because it's probably maybe one of, if not actual, the best defensive fruit we've seen so far. Literally, I don't think anything could break this shield, right? That's what Bartolomeo said, but obviously he would say that, right? But it doesn't seem like anything can break the shield, because even Elizabello's King Punch couldn't even dent the shield. So, and also, you can use it in an offensive manner. So I think it's just very versatile, very useful. Leo's like Stitch Fruit, I think it's average. I think stitching stuff is a very niche usage for a fruit. It's certainly not the strongest. Viola's like Seeing Fruit, I guess. I'm not sure what to call this. I think it's also average. It has again, another case of a fruit with a very niche use that could be useful in certain situations, but kind of useless in others. This art fruit thing, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. To me, it's average. It's certainly not even near any of the strongest ones. The jacket fruit is fucking garbage. I almost want to put it in garbage smile. That's how bad it is. Oh my god. It's not even, to me, it's not even a cool concept, because it's not a fusion. It's essentially a fusion, right? Between the person that puts on the jacket and the person that is the jacket, right? But it's not really a fusion as much as it is just the person putting on the jacket being controlled by the person that is the jacket, which is just disgusting, horrible, trash. The Beetle Fruit. Honestly, I think turning into a beetle would have its advantages. Obviously, it was a Tontaro that was using it, so maybe, you know, the advantages are not exactly apparent, but I think they're there. I think this is a wasp. I don't know if it's a wasp or a bee, but I also think this could have its uses. But obviously, both get flying, which is a crazy thing to get. And then they have like each benefit of their insect, right? Which I think are enough to put them in pretty good. I forgot this dude's name. Gladius. Yes, Gladius. That's his name. He can like explode stuff from his arms. To me, it's just a worse version of Mr. Five's fruit, but it's still pretty good. So I'll put it in pretty good. The swim fruit, I don't know. I just think it's not good. I just think it's not good. I'll put it in understandably bad because it has its uses, and I mean the fruit does what it's supposed to, right? But in reality, the intended purpose of the fruit is just not great, if we're being honest. The Ton fruit, I'm gonna put in the same place as the Kilo fruit. It's just these are not good fruits. These are not fruits you wanna get. They're very restricted, very just disappointing. Diamante's flag fruit. I think it's average. It gives you a lot of like evasive capabilities, but other than that, it's not. I don't know. You can do some interesting things with it, I guess, but it's not quite as broken as some other fruits. Pika's rock fruit. Now that is a broken ass fruit, in my opinion. For sure, a broken ass fruit, just because of what he was able to do with it. Obviously, Pika wasn't the best user of the fruit, but the potential is crazy. Conjuros Fruit. I think Conjuros Fruit is definitely very, very cool. It's very cool, and in the hands of the right person, can be completely OP. Conjuro is not he's not a good drawer, right? So the power is kind of wasted on him. If you had someone who was an expert drawer, they could basically just bring anything that they drew to life, and it would actually be useful, as opposed to most of the drawings that fucking Conjuro comes up with. Oh, I was like looking at this. Corazon's Silence Fruit. Again, to me it's average. It has its very niche uses, and outside of that, it's kind of useless. Cherries Fruit, another fruit with healing properties, and just because of that, I think it has to go in pretty good, minimum. Healing is a very like coveted thing with these fruits, because a lot of them do not provide any type of healing. So when you get one that does, to me, it really boosts up like its value. Karasu with the birds. I think, does this give Karasu the ability to fly? If it does, I think I would still put it average. I think I'll put it in pretty good for now. Well, for now, I'm going to leave it there. I'm just going to assume it gives him the ability to fly, and I'm going to leave him in pretty good. Here we go with the smiles. See, this is fucking useless. You can turn your hand into like a ram horn. Like, who cares? This is trash. This is trash. Jack's Mammoth Fruit. I don't know. Where did I put this? Where did I put an elephant? I think a mammoth is just a better version of an elephant, so I'll just put it in pretty good as opposed to the elephant's nice average. Alright, here's some more smiles. A fucking crab claw, garbage. Horns on your shoulders, garbage. Fucking mouse ears, trash. Is this a wolf hand? I mean, I don't know. A wolf hand is not, I don't know, it's not horrible, I guess. It's certainly not as bad as some of these other ones. That's fine. What is this? Another claw? Not good. Some more horns, I think. Not good. A lot of these smiles, man, it's just like one part of your body gets modified and you get like the attributes of an animal. But honestly, if you're gonna eat a fruit that stops you from swimming in a world where most of like the earth is just water, you probably want something better than like mouse ears and fucking horn shoulders. I don't even know what the fuck this is. I don't even care, to be honest. More horns, trash. I have no idea what this is. Trash. I can't even think of any, like, I literally can't think of any smiles that I would put higher than trash, but obviously I might come up with some. Raizo's ninjutsu. Well, ninjutsu. You know what I mean. I think it's okay. I think it's average. Big Mom's soul powers. I think they could probably go higher. They could probably go undeniably great. They get completely, like, dwarfed by someone who's not scared of you. At that point, your powers are completely useless. But it's also like, even if you can't use your powers directly on someone, you can use whatever you've like been able to give a soul to. You can use that as a weapon, as we've seen with Big Mom, right? So it just has a lot. I think actually I'll put it in OP because it just has so much potential. And also Big Mom is a good user of the fruit, right? But it just has so much potential. The mirror fruit. I don't know. I'm thinking you can literally have like a different dimension where you can move around in your mirrors. So I'll say that's pretty good. The candy fruit. I'll say it's pretty good. I'll say it's pretty good as well. I don't know. You can do a lot with this fruit. Not necessarily like attacking. You can do a lot like defensively too. And he was able to create an arm out of candy as well, which is insane when you think about it. Crackers fruit. I think Crackers fruit at first glance is not great, but I think his usage for sure. makes him great. Like the fruit itself, if you just describe the fruit to me, I would maybe put it even average. But Cracker's usage is just, you can't, it's undeniably great. What the fuck is her power again? I have to check, hold on. Okay, I literally had to look this up. Galette controls butter, which to me, I don't know about you, butter is not the prime substance that I would want to be able to control if I had to control foods. Yeah, definitely not butter. Mondar, I think I'm gonna put him... Where do I put him? He can like store shit. That's pretty good, but I don't know. I think it's very niche. Now that I think about it, I think it's pretty niche. What is this dude's name? I forgot this dude's name, but I don't know, bro. Controlling cream, again, like butter, it's not the greatest thing you can control. Smoothie, on the other hand, that her power is downright just fucking terrifying. I think it's pretty great, but she gets a hold of you, you're done. She can squeeze the life out of you. Like that's pretty fucking scary. And also, I mean, for everyday uses, like she can basically make a smoothie out of anything. That's pretty fire. Okay, Tamago's fruit is so weird. I have to put it pretty good because it clearly has like many more uses than we originally thought. And it's also like, it seems very good defensively almost, while also having very good offensive capabilities. I'm just gonna leave it at pretty good because it's just so strange, but it's also very useful. Pudding's fruit, in my opinion, is just, bro, being able to wipe memories or create memories. Yeah, that's pretty OP, in my opinion. That's pretty OP. Bobbin's fruit. I don't know if it's really that strong, to be honest. Like it's good, but like there's so many other fruits that are so much better. Morgan's, okay, being able to turn into an albatross is cool and all, but if I had to pick between, again, a hawk, I think, or a falcon, or an albatross, I'll go with a hawk / falcon, whatever. Mochi, I think Mochi is undeniably great for sure. I think if Katakuri didn't have the future sight ability, the fruit may not have appeared so amazing, but literally, since he had that ability, he made this fruit look like a Logia. Which, I mean, originally, we all know it was supposed to be a Logia, right? But still, the explanation behind it made a lot of sense, right? So just because of that, we're going to stay in universe, we're going to stay in context, and this dude was able to make a Paramecia look like a Logia, and for that reason, it's undeniably great. I don't want to hear it. Daifuku's fruit, I think it's pretty good. I think for sure it's pretty good. Oven's fruit, it's just like a weaker version of the Logias above it, but I'm not sure if it's quite I'm not sure if it's weaker to the point where it's just a little bit weaker or it's a lot weaker. To me personally, I think it's a lot weaker. Streisand's fruit, I think, again, the Streisand's fruit is nice. I think it's nice. I don't know, it's weird. I don't want to put it understandably bad because it's not bad, but it's also like, it's nice, but again, very niche. I mean, cooking food is not niche, right? Making food is not niche. Being able to make food out of any substance is actually insane when you think about it. You know what? You're right. I convinced myself. Being able to make food out of any substance is completely insane. The couplets, I think it's pretty good. You can essentially not create clones, but you can essentially kind of create other versions of you to just fight for you, I guess, or fight with you. And when you all come together, you basically become like a giant. I don't know, it's cool, I guess. It's better than average. This fruit reminds me of Inuzuma's in a sense, just minus the cutting. So I feel like I would have to put it above where Inuzuma's was. Where did I put Inuzuma? Where did I put him? Where the fuck did I put him? Am I stupid? Oh, I put Inuzuma in pretty good. So I think just being able to reshape the terrain around you is pretty great. Yeah, I'd have to put it above Inuzuma. Bellow's Fruit. Bellow's Fruit, I'm going to put in pretty good and not any higher because it has so much potential, but it's also very reliant on the fact that you have people around you to use your power on. If you're by yourself, it's a little bit useless. Otama's Fruit is crazy. It's crazy to a certain extent. I'll put it in undeniably great. It could be OP, but it's also like the person needs to have animal characteristics, right? That's the problem. But also you can get every animal on your side. So just for that, it's undeniably great. If it worked on humans as well, then it'd just be OP. Otama's Teapot. I mean, I'll take into consideration the fact that you're basically turning into a tanuki, I'm guessing, or like a raccoon. I guess it's average. Turning into a raccoon is average, right? Batman. This is one of those smiles that's like, it's not quite on the tier of garbage smile. It gives you flight, and it's not only like one part of your body becomes like an attribute of an animal. It's like you get some other things too. You know, like the gazelle one. It's like, it doesn't change your body too much, and it gives you like very high speed, so that's not super bad. It's horrible, but compared to other smiles, it's not as bad. Hold them is just fucking trash. Why would you want a lion that's beating on your nuts while you're trying to get shit done? See this, like another case of mouse ears. Like, aren't these people the same? Like, what the fuck is this? Even the dude put fucking question marks. I don't even know what the fuck this is. I have no idea what the fuck this is. You get a bunny. Like, what the fuck? See, speed is another example where you basically turn into a centaur. It's not nearly as bad as some of these other smiles, right? But it's still not good. What is this? Oh, it's a smile. I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? No, garbage. You get a wolf head. No. A snake dick. No. This is a smile, but I don't know of what. But no. Okay. Now we're getting into the interesting one. Toki's Fruit, giving you the... Okay, there's nothing in the One Piece verse that we've seen so far that even gives you the ability, an ability that's even remotely similar to Toki's Fruit. Being able to jump forward in time, while it's kind of niche in a sense, like why would you want to jump forward in time? If you could travel through time, then that'd be insane. But just being able to jump forward is a little bit weird. But just because it does something that no other fruit and no other anything in the world can do, I think it deserves to be up here. Kaido's Dragon Fruit, in my opinion, I mean, how could I put it anywhere under, like, other than OP? Another mythical Zoan, and it's just, you turn into a fucking dragon. Like, what more do I need to say? If being a dinosaur puts you in undeniably great, a fucking dragon obviously puts you in OP. Is Shinobu, is this a spoiler? Like, is Shinobu a Devil Fruit user? Like, what? I don't see, like, did she change her appearance to not be recognized? Like, did she just grow older and then her appearance changed? I don't know if this is a spoiler or anything. I'm not sure I know what this is about. This is Gyokimaru. Well, I think this is Gyokimaru, right? Is this Gyokimaru? Or Onimaru, right? That's his name? That's like the wolf name? Or the fox? I think it's a fox. We don't even know if this is a fruit, but if it is a fruit, then shit. I mean, it's OP. Like, you can literally shapeshift. You can shapeshift, and you can what's it called? Although doesn't Katarina and Devon have that power too? Anyways, I think it's pretty OP. I think it's pretty OP. All right, here we go with these smiles. Hippo mouth. Fuck no. What the fuck is this? Oh, sorry. This is Orochi. We're not done with the smile. We're not completely into smile territory yet. Orochi, compared to the other mythical Zoans, I'm not sure being a snake is quite on that level. So I'm gonna put it in as undeniably great because it still has crazy potential, but not quite the level that other mythical Zoans have. Page 1, I'll put page 1 on the same level as Drake. I think page 1 is not as strong as Drake, not nearly. Oh, sorry, not up there. Relax. He's not on the same level as Drake, but you know, between these two dinosaurs, I think if Drake had this one, he would still be just as good. And if Paige had this one, he would be just as bad. Sorry. So, yeah. Which one is this? This is King. Being able to turn into a pterodactyl. Again, the whole thing with flight, that's obviously a bonus. I'm not sure you're reaching top tier territory by becoming a pterodactyl, but I'd rather become a pterodactyl than like a hawk or a falcon. Are we in full-fledged smile territory? A fucking alpaca, garbage. The best thing he did was spit. A spider, trash. An elephant, garbage. Monkey, that's a monkey one, right? Where she has like multiple arms, trash. It's a fucking crab, who knows? Oh no, this is Onimaru. Then what the fuck is this? Is this Katarina Devon? Okay, I assume that that's Katarina Devon. I'm gonna put her down here because I feel like Gyokimaru or Onimaru, or however you want to call him, whatever form you want to use his name for, I think is just like, well, we don't know. We don't even know if Gyokimaru or Onimaru is like the owner of a devil fruit. But there's just nothing else in the One Piece like verse that has these kind of powers without a devil fruit. So that's why people assume that it's a devil fruit. But if this is Katarina Devon, her powers are basically just shapeshifting. Onimaru can do that, plus other things. So just because of that, he's a higher tier. I think we're just gonna round out the list with some smiles. Fucking armadillo, trash, whatever the fuck this is, garbage. Hold on. Is this a smile? I think this is a smile. Whatever the fuck. It looks like a smile. Croc mouth, trash. What the fuck is this? Garbage. Elephant trunk on your face? Huh? Bear face? What the fuck? Is that a cat? I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Oda didn't even finish that drawing. Oh, true. King. Queen. Sorry, I forgot about Queen. If I'm gonna be honest, I think Queen's fruit is pretty good, but it's not as good as some other, like, again, if I had to pick a dinosaur, I'd rather these two compared to this one. It's just Queen's like super strong, but it's fruit, not necessarily. Is this a gorilla face? Okay. This one gives you flight. This one just gives you wings. If anything, this looks like Lafitte's fruit. Let me put it in disgustingly horrible. Is this like butterfly wings? That's not bad. Another flying one, but this one has like a bird head on. No, man, no. Just garbage. Alright, well, anyways, those smiles were definitely horrible, but this is my list. I don't know really what to say. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I hope you are too.